Have you previously played King's Quest V?
King's Quest V has a pretty notorious following. It's been let's played, reviewed, and mocked by gaming enthusiasts everywhere, and to be perfectly honest with you, the material is perfect for riffing on, mostly because of this.
Graham, watch out! A point!
Nope. Not even gonna put that line in there. That joke has been overused. We've heard it to death. Let's move on now. Move on. King's Quest V was actually the first point-and-click game I played. Everything else had either been parser-based or other genres like platformers or side-scrollers. Therefore, I have very fond memories of discovering this new style of gameplay. I actually received the game in a bundle pack for Christmas one year, in which Doom and a copy of Compton's Encyclopedia were also included. What a weird conglomeration of games. Previously, in King's Quest IV, King Graham of Daventry had come down with a serious illness, and Rosella, his daughter, goes on her own quest to find a magical ingredient to save her dad. Now Graham is all better, enjoying the beauty of nature with a casual stroll through the forest.
My castle? What has happened?
Well, that's unfortunate, but that empty space would make a great underground pool. Always look at the bright side. Cedric the owl suddenly appears, having seen the entire incident.
Ooh, I know what happened to your castle. I saw it all, yes I did.
Good freaking gravy. I will spare you having to listen to his voice and just give you the gist of it myself. An evil wizard named Mordak has stolen your family and castle, and Cedric decides to help by bringing Graham to speak to another wizard named Crispin. He'll give you a few things to help you on your journey, but first he needs to make it over to his trunk. Holy shit, screw this. My family is probably dead at this point. After some wise advice from Crispin,
"Don't be wasting your time coming in here. Young man, I've done all I can for you."
you are on your own in the world of inventory object puzzles. You begin in the diverse town of Serenia, but throughout the game you'll travel to different, otherworldly locations while you're on your journey to find your family. Cedric goes with you, but you'll find out pretty quickly that he's completely useless in terms of solving puzzles.
Having other things on his mind, Cedric doesn't appear to be in the mood to talk right now. Cedric is too busy looking around and doesn't seem to be paying any attention to Graham at the moment. Cedric seems to be thinking big thoughts right now, and so is not in a talkative mood.
Everyone in this town needs help with something, so this is a case of solving puzzles to get an inventory item to give to someone else, who in turn will give you an inventory item. There's actually a lot of great characters to interact with here, so Serenia was always my favorite location in the entire game. It is insanely tropey though, including such cliches as the campy gay character,
"Oh, that cloak fits you perfectly,"
the damsel in distress,
"I'm not really a tree. I'm really a princess,"
unscrupulous mob types,
Where's the rest of the loot, huh? I think one of you guys is holding out on me.
and Scottish gnomes?
"Now, leave me and my grandson be."
Is that a trope? If not, it should be. All of the King's Quest games have taken from fairy tales and fantastical stories, but even though the game is tropey and pays homage to tales past, it's all very unique, and nothing really wore on me. The game's universe is actually quite charming, and I wish I could say the same thing about the puzzle design, which is all kinds of ridiculous. The worst offender in regards to the puzzle design is probably this cat chasing this rat right here.
Suddenly, frantic squeakings alert Graham to a mangy cat chasing a terrified rat.
You have to throw a boot at the cat to save the rat, because if you don't, it won't save you in the future, and then you can't get the leg of lamb, meaning you'll starve in the mountains. And I know what you're thinking. Well, duh, Captain Obvious, I knew that. This animation happens once and only once, so if you don't figure out how to save the rat, or if you don't have the boot, or if you don't restore your game, you'll miss it and you are stuck in an unwinnable situation. With the help of a gypsy who reads Graham's fortune, he's able to learn why Mordak took his family and castle and stuffed them into a jar. What is this? A castle for ants? During King's Quest III, Alexander turns his captor, the wizard Manannan, into a cat, and Mordak, Manannan's brother, is seeking vengeance.
"I'm not a wizard. I just happened to stumble across some magic spells and accidentally turned your brother into a cat."
Yeah, right, as if that wasn't an accident. Yes, we accidentally made a cookie and accidentally hid it in Manannan's porridge so he would turn into a cat. Accident my ass. The mountain area is quite nice, except for some reason everyone and everything wants to kill you, including Queen Isabella. And she is cold as ice. She's willing to sacrifice your life. Luckily, Graham melts her heart with beautiful harp music, and she gives you a second chance, but only if you can carry out a very minor task. Really more of an annoyance than anything. You have to take out the Yeti. Quick, Graham, the pie! After defeating the Yeti, Graham is taken back to Queen Isabella, where she releases him and Cedric, who are then free to continue their journey. Though I think Sir Greywolf would have been too full to eat Cedric or Graham, seeing as though he already ate the voice box of a Muppet.
Yonder's the Crystal Cave. There you will find the Yeti.
There's a few other locations Graham ends up at before he eventually makes his way to Mordek's castle, like this beach and the Harpy Island. The hermit who lives in this house, which is made out of a boat's bow, should be able to give us proper directions to the castle though. He might be sleeping, so let me just knock very politely on his door. A beautiful mermaid will guide you to Mordek's castle, and you better be sure you have every item you need before the last part of this game, otherwise you'll find yourself in an unwinnable state. And I can't reiterate enough how easy it is to overlook items in this game. Upon entering the castle, you'll meet a lovely peasant girl named Cosima, whom you befriend and promise to also save her as well as your family. And trust me, Cosima is a very important character, not only because she helps you in the castle, but also because she's a key character in King's Quest VI. After snooping around Mordek's castle, you eventually catch him while he's napping with his wand unattended. And if adventure games have taught me anything, it is to steal some shit. Always take what isn't yours, because it may help you solve a life puzzle. Especially make sure you have some moldy cheese in your trousers, because that, my friends, is the most important source of power.
Graham tosses the moldy cheese into the machine's bubbling liquid.
The game ends with an epic magic battle between Mordek and King Graham. Cedric even comes in to help. Oh no, that's too bad. Hurry, Graham, turn yourself into something ferocious so you can tear the tar out of Mordek. Ah yes, a bunny. You've got him now, Graham. Graham eventually defeats Mordek, and all is well with the world again, except that your family and castle are still bite-sized. Fortunately, Crispin shows up. Wow, I know people have mentioned this before, but Graham really does look like a pro wrestler. He's ripped! Crispin eventually figures out the right magical incantation to fix your family right up. Take it, Crispin.
Hocus pocus, Aliokus!
Valonese, my children, my joy knows no limit.
And there you have it, folks. The royal family of Daventry is saved. Alright, everyone get in close for a picture. A little closer, little closer. Right there, right in front of the dead owl.
Wait, what about Cedric?
Shut the hell up, Graham. I'll be completely honest with you. I love the hell out of this game. I loved all the King's Quest games when I was young, especially because they were so fantastical and imaginative. So much so that these games inspired me to write, and later on I actually majored in fiction writing because of it. It's pretty obvious that games can be quite the influencer, and this series was a major one in my young life. But this will not be everyone's cup of tea, and the poor puzzle design, though less frustrating than other games in my opinion, will have the tendency to give people sour first impressions. Personally, I love the extreme nature of the puzzles because that's just what I grew up on. After all, early adventure games were built on crazy puzzles, game overs, unwinnable states, and the constant threat of death, especially in the initial text-based games like Zork or other Infocom games that popularized the genre. So this is what I've come to know and love, as biased and seen through rose-colored glasses as it may be. The main problem with this game is the fact that nobody really gives you any direction or clues on what you should be doing. You have to take shots in the dark and really hope that they're right. I did notice in the following game, King's Quest VI, that characters often tell you what they require in exchange for another item. For example, the bookseller says he wants a valuable book in exchange for the one on the counter, and many other characters spell things out for you if you really pay attention. But in King's Quest V, nobody really does that. I have this golden needle, and maybe it's the tailor's, but it can also be used in other ways that seemingly work.
Will you take a golden needle and trade for the sled?
Okay, why not? Go ahead and take the sled.
See, I can also give it to the toy maker, and that also seems like the right thing to do. Unfortunately, it's not, despite it seeming so, and if the right objects do not go to the right people, you won't have what you need to complete the game. I have friends who downright hated this game within the first 5 minutes of playing, so I guess it depends on what your personal tastes are. I will tell you this though. It's charming, it's cheesy, and it's very easy and fun to riff on. And with Josh Mandel performing the voice of King Graham, how can one resist?
Uh-oh, that last step was a doozy.
Hey everyone, you just watched my review of King's Quest V, Absence Makes the Heart Go Yonder. If you're interested in this game, then check out the link in the description, cause you can totally own a copy for yourself. Make sure to check out my other reviews if you're feeling saucy, and if you want to talk about Yeti extermination with me, then hit me up on my social networks. Thanks again, and as always, I'll see you in the next one.